think about Bradcraft? Well, it's the Bradcraft, well, it's the Bradcraft. Yeah, we're mining and a crafting, we're the Bradcraft. We'll build a building, we'll kill the people. Bradcraft, Bradcraft Show. Come on now. Yeah.
Well, hello, and welcome once again to Stuff and Things presents The Bradcraft Show. I'm your good friend Bradley, and today is a bit of a rainy day in Minecraft. I'm overlooking Bradley's big dig here. You can see the completed dig, and it doesn't look like much has changed. Well, things had changed. I was actually trying to do a little bit of building in here. Let's jump down. I had decided to do these giant archways that were coming from either end, the kind of the middle of each section of this dig. So this arch was going this way, up there, and then I did another one coming around here. And I did that based on, you can get those circle generators, pixel circle generators online, where you can figure out how to properly create a circle in Minecraft, because Minecraft is very much square-edged, not really good for curves. But I was thinking that I was going to do these arches, and then I was going to flatten something up above where the arches met. I was going to use that as a base for my building that's going to go up. Then I built them, and I did not like them. And I decided that that's not what I'm going to do. I think, in fact, I'm going to build a base down here. Then I'm going to have kind of supports or trusses or whatever you want to call, going from the middle of each one of these areas, meeting the structure in the middle here. I'm going to have roads on top of those. I don't know. I'm vacillating back and forth like crazy, as I usually do before I build something. And this project is going to be so big that I'm just having a lot of trouble deciding on how I want to go before I start. I don't want to get ahead of myself and do something that I don't like, even though I did spend a lot of time building these arches. But I have decided on one thing. I have here some cyan clay. This is stained clay, dyed the cyan color. And you can see, as opposed to it really being cyan blue, you can see a little bit of that blue in here. It's more of a nice uniform gray. And I really like the look of it. And I decided I want to use this for a lot of my structure that I build, at least on this bottom layer. I think this is going to be the color palette that I like. But of course, that necessitates getting a bunch of the dye needed to make these stained clay blocks. Let's run back upstairs again. So again, I'm making things difficult for myself. I had done my giant railroad to the mesa biome, so I have a nice supply of clay that I can grab. But the dye is another matter. To make the cyan dye, we're just going to run into the nether real quick. Whoa! Whoa! Hello, spider. All right. Let's relax. You're going to die. Alrighty. There we go. Now we're up above. I'm just using this nether portal as a way to quickly get from the bottom to the top of my dig. But to make cyan clay, you need cactus. You need cactus green. And to get cactus, you need to have a cactus farm, and so I've built one over here. Let me chop this down real quick. So we've got our cactus. To get the dye from the cactus, you need to smelt it. So you throw it in a furnace. Working. Shut up, Kevin. I'm sorry, Kevin. You're a good boy. All right. So here we have our cactus green is being created. We'll just wait here until all three pieces are properly smelted. Come on now. Takes forever. Alright, there's our cactus green. So the recipe for cyan dye is cactus green and some lapis. So we'll just take 3 pieces of that. I've got quite a bit of lapis here. But again, see, this isn't a renewable resource. So I might not be building, you know, everything out of this cyan clay. Probably just the bottom layer. I'll have kind of different architectural designs for each part of this build, probably. But I do want to use the cyan for some things. So then you go in here. That's not where my clay is. Where's my clay? There's some clay. Yeah, I don't have a heck of a lot of hardened clay. I'm going to have to go back to the mesa. But basically, you combine lapis and cactus green, you get cyan dye. You get 6 pieces. So each piece of whichever dye you're using combined together, you don't lose that. You get the... I had 3 cactus green, 3 lapis, I get 6 cyan. So then to make your dyed stained clay, you put that in the middle. You put those around, so I'll be getting 46. So 6 pieces of dye, you get 46 blocks, which isn't horrible. So that's not too bad. I think that I'm not going to have to use all my lapis up. Go into the wrong chest. My lord. Too much stuff around here. So that's how we make our cyan stained clay. But again, I knew I was going to need a nice supply of cactus, and here I was experimenting with some stuff. Let me show you this little cactus farm I've made. Like everything up here, it is temporary. It's not necessarily the way I like it. In fact, I find this automatic cactus farm kind of ugly. Not a huge fan, but I was just kind of experimenting, seeing what I wanted to do with this. I'll show you here what we've got going. Actually, maybe we'll go up to the top layer first. Be a little easier to see. We will eat a potato. We will use some dirt. So on a very basic level, I have this set up. So you can see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks long, these rows of cactus. The reason I do that is because I want this to be automatic, and if you put a bucket of water here, a bucket of water will flow 8 blocks and then stop. So that's as long as this little run of cactus can be. Now, cactus can only grow on sand. You could use red sand here too if you wanted, but I just use normal sand. And I've got these blocks up here, and the reason I have these, there's all sorts of different tutorials for automatic cactus farms on the internet. I kind of combined several aspects and then went off on my own, and I think when I do my actual real version of it within, you know, the build of the big dig, I'm going to do it a bit different than I did here. But these blocks prevent the cactus... Oh, we just saw one. When the cactus tries to grow up... Ooh, look, it's going down. If there is a block beside it, see right here, there's no block on this level, so this level can stay. This cactus is fine. But when it tries to grow up here, these spikies protrude into this square where this block is, and that means... Whoa! Okay, you're fine. Don't harass my sheep. So when the cactus tries to grow up, it can't, and it just breaks off the top and falls down into the stream. The stream carries it down below into these hoppers I have. Oh, there's another one dropping down. These hoppers shunt it off into this chest I have down here. So it's automatic. Works pretty well. I don't have any cacti on me at the moment. So you have to put the water on either side because basically you want to make sure you gather up all the cactus you can. I didn't want to put the cactus down here on this edge because then I'd lose some here. We've got creatures. Creatures are freaking out around here. Where's my bow? You will shut up. There you go. Okay. And I think when I do this again, I don't want to use blocks like this. I don't like things floating ever. I'm not a huge fan of that no matter what. And so over there, I was experimenting using fence posts. So I think what I'm going to do is make some sort of lattice work of fencing or maybe iron bars, and then I'll have the fence posts or iron bars coming down. So it won't be as monolithic and ugly and just gray and blah. And it still works. Excuse me. See, there's another one just fell down. It still works because basically even a fence post, which seems narrow, it's still occupying this square in terms of the logic of the game. So when the cactus tries to grow up again, it'll fall off, fall down here. It all works pretty well. You need to use quite a few of these hoppers, but the fact that I have it stacked cuts that down a little bit. And I also think when I do this again, obviously I can only go 8 long here because of the water. And I think I will probably do, since I've combined 2 together, I've got 2 sides on either side of these hoppers, I think I will make it square. Let me run out here. In fact, oh, damn it. Jeez Louise. All right, people. Let me sleep real quick so I don't have to deal with these jokers. And we're sleeping. We're awake. All right, so if we go back up here on our dirt, get an idea of the general structure. So this is not square, obviously, so I think I do a couple more rows on either side of these cacti and stack up maybe 2 or 3 levels. I'm not sure. This doesn't have a huge amount of production because the cactus don't grow all that quick. And also, as the other little cacti pop off the top, if they come in contact with another cactus, they'll just disappear. So you don't get perfect 100% efficiency. Some of them fall off into the canal like they're supposed to, some do not. Some fall and hit other cactus. But, you know, it's pretty good production. I've had this running for quite a while now. If we take a look in our chest here, yeah, got pretty good. Got 7 stacks, almost 7.5 stacks of cactus, and I've let this run away from keyboard some of the time just to see how much I'll collect. But if you just kind of stare into the chest, let's see. Maybe we'll just wait a minute and see if any actually gather. There's one. It's not a huge amount per minute, but they come. I just heard one drop. 22. Come on, cactus. Come on. Come on, cactus. Yeah, like I said, it's not the fastest thing in the world, but it works. And it works pretty well. So, like I said, the design, the basic layout, the basic method of working, I'm gonna keep the same, but the design, I'm definitely gonna make it a little more elegant when I actually build it. It's kind of nice to have all this stuff out here because I can sort of experiment with things. I guess I could do that in creative mode too if I wanted to, but here I was just experimenting with seeing how it would look to have fence posts coming down and maybe fence posts on the top, or I was using iron bars as well. If I do that, it's kind of an interesting look. I'm not sure totally how I feel about it, but let's just take a look. If you do the iron bars like that, it looks kind of like this industrial, maybe steampunk kind of thing. I think it looks kind of cool. And then up above, I could have, you know, a whole grid of iron bars coming around. I don't know. It might look cool that way, or I could go the fence post route. But I think that's going to work out pretty well for me. And in fact, I don't need this stuff here anymore. I can get rid of it all. This was just for visualization purposes. Out here, I've done little mini roads when I was trying to figure out how I wanted to build my roadway and my railroad tracks, all that good stuff. So we'll just gather all this up. So I know it seems like the progress has been very slow in terms of actually building anything within the big dig, but this is kind of my process. It takes me a while to figure out what I want to do. I vacillate back and forth. I'll build things. I'll go, meh, not a huge fan. I'll knock it down again. But I think I kind of have a plan now. So I'm going to build a base down here, kind of a foundation basement area. Down here, I've been actually toying with the idea of doing a tree farm down on this bottom layer, making it kind of park-like, maybe with some streams, and then incorporating my tree farm into sort of the park-like forested atmosphere that I build down here. So we'll see about that. I haven't totally decided. And then as I build this structure up in the middle, there's going to be roadways coming off the structure at different levels, and they'll kind of tunnel into the sides of the big dig. And I'll have different, maybe I'll put farms inside there, or I'll have farms kind of floating here, connected to the pathways. I don't know. There's lots to do. It's a huge project, but I finally feel confident that I can actually sort of, kind of get something going here. So that's for another time. I just wanted to show you really quick this cactus farm that I've been building. I know it's not a tutorial really, but it's basically fairly simple. You just do your row of cactus, every other one. You only do it 8 long because that is as long as water will travel. You put any sort of block up above, making sure you leave this space empty so the cactus can grow down at the bottom. As the cactus grow, they'll pop off when they come into contact with these blocks. They'll drop off into this canal. They'll flow down into these hoppers and from the hoppers into the chest. So basically, as long as you're nearby, you will have a continuously producing cactus farm. And as you can see, when we looked at it before, we had 22, now we have 31. So it's not a huge rate of production, but it's not bad. And it's basically, as I'm building and using up my dye and stuff, I'm sure that when I come back and go, oh, I'm out of dye, I need more cactus, there's always going to be some there for me. I don't think I'm ever going to be running out based upon the rate of how much I use and how much I build. So anyway, good stuff. We shall be back eventually. Hopefully I'll have some stuff built for y'all. I might try to do an episode with my little bro. He was annoyed with me because when I went to his build, I had failed to go into his mine. He said that's where all his cool stuff was, so I didn't show you guys any of the cool things that he had built. He didn't think that he was properly represented. But anyway, that's for another time. Until then, until we meet again, I've been your good friend Bradley. You have been the audience. This has been Stuff and Things Presents The Bradcraft Show. Good day. Oh, let's go. Whoa.